Welcome to another season of Coop Dreams. After 8 years, we've still got the farmhouse, plenty of land around the farmhouse, and a host of farm animals. Chickens, turkeys, rabbits, goats, cows, bees, and one very loud guinea. We also have a cat, William Wallace. He's our farm manager, and he also oversees security. So keep joining us, laughing and learning, right here on Coop Dreams.
Last time on Coop Dreams.
Hey, yeah, now you remember. Being the middle of summer, the weather was nice enough to let a couple of the baby goats come out from the barn for a short visit to meet the older goats. With some supervised integration, of course. Since Pammy had just given birth to her 2 kids, only Pat Tillman and Amelia Earhart got the nod for the meet and greet. What do you guys think? What do you think? See that little guy over there? Looks just like you. Pammy was about 10 days behind Jan and Josie in giving birth, so her 2 little babies were too young and stayed in the barn comfortably resting under their sweeter heater with Mama close by. Pat and Amelia, on the other hand, were growing quickly, were full of energy, and ready to meet their future yard mates. The boys were standoffish at first, not knowing what to think of the little visitors. And the kids do what kids do, especially fearless little Pat Tillman, who was ready to take on everyone. He's taking on everybody. Even Morgan. So they say if you want to run the prison yard, you got to go after the toughest guy in the prison yard. They didn't leave their mama's sides for very long, or maybe that was the other way around. But small nursing breaks were much needed. The kids' bouncing energy is always fun to watch, even at the expense of getting nothing else done. Then, it was the adult goats' turn to get out of their yard for a small break. I had thought about actually having them come stay in the backyard for a while. They could do some pruning, and we'd be able to watch the kids interact with them for short periods of time. William Wallace kept a watchful eye as they were clearly out of place. Look at all this delicious stuff back here. It didn't take them long to work their way back into the woods to browse on the low-hanging tree limbs. They attacked it like an all-you-can-eat buffet with plenty of good stuff within easy reach all around. Unfortunately, the temporary fencing we had up would provide them too much entertainment and be destroyed if left alone. So, they needed to go back to the goat yard. The only way I'd be able to get them to leave the gourmet buffet was with Belster grain. With a big scoop in hand, I played the Pied Piper and had them follow me back to the goat yard. Come on, guys. After getting the goats settled back in their own yard again, I headed down to the cow pasture to check on the other new Coop Dreams farm member, Mia, Elsa's new calf. What a cutie. But she is very shy and not eager to leave the protection of the woods. The grass had grown a lot in their fenced area while I was gone, and since I wasn't quite ready to rotationally graze the cows, I defaulted back to my old ways and fired up the tractor. That gets everybody excited. As I mowed, I couldn't help but think, after visiting Polyface Farms, maybe my pasture cutting days would soon be coming to an end. Back in the spring, we had a historic event on the Coop Dreams farm. I caught my first swarm of bees, and they are alive and doing well, so it's as good a time as any to tell the story. First, here's a quick summary we recorded after the fact. Okay, so Jackster was cutting the lawn right over here, and
she was kind of, there's this cloud of bees, and she said, I can't finish the lawn. There's bees everywhere out there. And I asked her, you know, is it honeybees or is it like yellow jackets or what is it? And she didn't know. So I came out and looked, and right down here, there was a little clump of bees. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's a swarm. I got really excited because it's the first time I've ever seen a swarm. Was excited to learn how to catch it. So I saw this grouping right here. I went into the house, got the computer out, watched a YouTube video on how to catch a swarm, built myself a homemade swarm catching kit, got a whole bunch of supplies, beekeeping suit, stuff like that. Remembered I had a box that also could work, so I had my homemade one, and then I had a bee box. Came back out here and there were no bees right here. I was so disappointed. And then I thought, well, maybe they had moved somewhat close by. So I went, started looking around, and I found them over here. There's still a few here. I found them, they were right up here in the V of this tree. Was able to brush them off, shake them off, get them into the two boxes, was able to put the two boxes together. Left it here for a little bit to try and see if I could get any of the stragglers to kind of get the scent and the pheromone of the queen and go into the box. And then I took the box back to the hive and I set it in one of our hives, and I caught my first swarm of bees. I'm so excited.
As things go, our camera crew couldn't make it out to the farm for the eventful day, so I tried recording the action myself using a video camera and tripod, not knowing at all what to expect.
Not sure if you can see it, that dark clump right there. That is a swarm of bees. At first, Jackster was cutting the lawn and she saw him on the fence over here. I came out, found him on the fence, got all excited because it'd be the first swarm I've ever caught. I went inside, watched YouTube videos, and figured out how to catch them. So here's my homemade thing to vent so I can close it and they'll stay screened in and be able to breathe. So I'm going to shake them into that. I've got a towel to put underneath. You're supposed to put this underneath so that as you shake them down, if you get the queen in the box, they should all move towards the box, but then you can shake the extra ones in there. I'm going to brush them off that branch. Hopefully I get the queen. And then, of course, I got my bee suit and my gloves. Wearing my Carhartt really thick winter coat, dying out here in this heat, but I'm not gonna get stung today. First swarm, here we go.
After getting everything set up and ready, and my bee suit on, I slowly approached the massive clump of bees and carefully pulled away some of the branches. I brought out an old nuke box with a few frames in it to use as a collection box. With the hand broom ready, I moved the box slowly to under the bees. Then I gently and slowly started brushing the clumped bees in, and wow, it took no time to get them buzzing all around me. But I ignored them and moved just a little bit faster. Then I tried shaking and brushing clumps of bees into the box. When I thought I had most of them, I set the box down. Surprisingly, the bees didn't seem to be attacking me and looked focused on keeping the queen safe and the swarm together. I'd been out there with the swarm for what seemed like an eternity, so I just stopped for a moment, with them buzzing all around, to think about the next steps. In actuality, it had only been about 3 minutes, and the swarming bees did not seem bothered by me. But I was pretty sure they would turn on me in any moment. I couldn't at first tell if they were staying in the box, which would be an indication that I got the queen and she's somewhere inside. I wasn't sure if the nuke box would hold them all and decided I better go get my homemade collection box so I could get more of the bees from the tree.
Not sure if I got the queen, so I got my homemade box. I'm gonna try and get the rest in and dump them in. Still got a lot of bees up there in the tree, so we're going to shake the rest of them into this box.
I put it under the hive and brushed in as many bees as I could. Once I had a good number of bees, I placed the homemade box on top of the nuke box to see if their movement would indicate if either one of the boxes had the queen.
Let's see which box they go in. Or if she's still up in the tree here.
I couldn't tell if they were coming or going, or if maybe the queen was still in the tree.
Where are you going? You coming in? You staying out?
I tried brushing some more bees from the tree into my homemade box just to make sure.
Where are you? I can't believe this.
After waiting a bit, without any indication of movement, I took the vent screen out of the homemade box to make more room.
They're walking up into that box.
After a while, things were looking hopeful. I got down for a closer look, but that didn't tell me anything. I was also getting pretty hot and sweaty with all my protective layers on, but I'd made it without getting stung or any bees invading my bee suit, so that was a big plus.
Yep, I gotta believe she's in the box the way they're all moving.
I emptied the vent screen to get it out of the way. The bees buzzing around seemed to be growing louder and in greater numbers. I was ready to shut it down. Eventually, I put as many bees as I could into the nuke box and took everything out to the hive to get this swarm introduced to its brand new Coop Dreams home. The next step was to set the swarm in one of the vacant AZ hives we had as a result of the previous colonies not surviving. The standalone AZ hive and the Langstroth hive were already taken with new packages from Meyer's Bees. So the swarm I caught would go in one of the 2 hives in the hive hut. With the camera and production crew over an hour away, I set the video camera on a tripod to record the first swarm catch and whatever was about to happen next.
I have cleaned out this hive, which we lost 2 robber bees this colony last year. So I'm gonna try and put them in. I have built a ramp here. I'm gonna shake them out onto here. Hope they go in there, try and brush them in there, see if I can't get the queen in. If I get the queen in, they'll all follow. I'm not gonna fully mask up. They've been pretty calm, and part of that is because they're not protecting brood, from what I understand. So as they look for a new home, I'm just gonna help them. But I am gonna put my gloves on, and then we're gonna shake them off into here. All right, see if we can do this.
I carefully picked up and opened the swarm box. I paused for a bit to think through what I should do and figured 1 frame at a time would be the best path. I slammed it on the tray and began brushing them into the entrance of the hive. As more and more bees started buzzing around, I was hoping I had the queen and was brushing her in for the others to follow. I got as many of the bees off of the frame as I could. If they were all going into the hive, that should mean that the queen was in there.
If they all start going in, that means the queen is in there.
I grabbed another frame from the swarm box and proceeded with the same process. Man, it seemed like there were bees everywhere. I had already sprayed the foundations with Honeybee Healthy, which helps encourage the workers to draw out the foundation with wax. And I also included it in their supplemental sugar water, as the essential oils help promote healthy hives.
Hey, they're going in. I don't think she's in there.
I took a third frame and repeated the process. On faster speed, it's pretty amazing to watch, and from the looks of it, the workers were migrating into the hive box. With all the frames done, I picked up the swarm box, which was full of bees, and tried dumping the whole box onto the tray. I brushed out all that I could and was amazed how quickly the workers were entering the hive, as if under some kind of spell. It was the powerful queen spell. When the bulk of the bees seemed to find their way past the entrance, I carefully removed the tray and all the excess frames holding it up. Then I slowly pulled out the makeshift cardboard ramp I had made. Flipping it over, there was a bunch of bees clumped to it. There was a slight chance the queen was mixed in with them, but it was more likely that they were working to find their way in. I thought it best to help them with a little push. They obliged and went on in. There were still a lot of bees on the tray, so I brushed them in, wanting to get as many bees into their new home as possible. I slowly put the sugar water holder in place, gently nudging any stragglers into the hive.
I put this together wrong, but we're gonna have to live with it.
As I was getting ready to close it up, I realized I didn't get the bottom tray back in, which created a gap. But that was no biggie right now. And with the stopgap, using another sugar water holder, I would deal with that later.
See if that'll work.
I put the door back on, and the swarm could now finish getting settled into their new home.
We have got a swarm captured in here, and we'll give it a day or so to calm down, then we'll come check on it, because I did put the hive back together a little bit incorrectly, but hopefully it's all good. First swarm caught on the Coop Dreams farm. Jackster found it, I caught it, and here it is.
To watch episodes on the go, be sure to download the Coop Dreams app. And for even more fun, like Coop Dreams on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit our website at www.coopdreams.tv.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey guys. Come on. Cookie, 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 cookie. Hey. Come on. They're coming. They're coming. They're here. They're here.
Hey, you got a lot of poison ivy back there.
I do.
Does it not bother you?
It does. I'm just hoping I don't hit. Now I'll pull my socks up now. Yeah, Reed told me there's poison ivy here. Now everything itches.